Do not click off of this video. I repeat, do not click off of this video. The universe has brought us here today for a very important reason. Much like any other time, first and foremost, I come to you in peace. Peace be unto the reflection. So, I've been having a lot of esoteric experiences lately. A lot of things that's been hard to explain to my family members. A lot of things that's been hard for me to even explain to myself. And the only way that I can rationalize what's going on, simply put, is we are in a mass awakening right now. Some of us are on the frequency to catch this mass awakening, and others are not so receptive to it. However, one of the spells that they casted over this earth by way of manifest, and they used the Bible to help manifest this, was a 7-year war, a 7-year spiritual battle, where the vibration of the earth was really happening, to my understanding, to my esoteric perspective. What's really happening is the earth is raising its vibration. And as it raises its vibration, the split of energy will become more and more apparent. You will start to see who is truly of divine essence, and those who we cannot necessarily say the same. Now the thing is, there are certain illusions that they fed to us, like the illusion of good and evil, or the illusion of this or that, when truly everything is all one in terms of consciousness. Now, I don't know if any of y'all follow Soul Illuminati, but Spiritual Soul is his newer pen name, or his newer ego that he prefers to be called as. Spiritual Soul had recently released a video talking about the conscious uprising, the conscious awakening, if you will, that's going on, that's taking place right now. And he said that yes, while we are all derived from one form of consciousness, we are not all the same necessarily. And so we're starting to see that. I don't know if any of y'all have been disconnected from your parents, but that's normal, because your earth parents aren't your spiritual parents to begin with. There's a lot of truth in that statement, and if you do not resonate with that at this moment, that's fine. Hopefully in time you will go through life and have your own experiences, be it here in this lifetime, be it in the next lifetime, be it in a higher dimension, or wherever it is that you go. Hopefully in time all will be revealed to you, as is by design. Anything that you do not necessarily know right now, you always have the potential of learning it, but you have to put in the work to go find it. So with that being said, as the earth is changing its vibration, and we starting to see this separation, a message to those who have been led astray from their path, as we get ready to go through this 7-year spiritual war, before it turns and manifests into an actual physical war. Do not be afraid to walk amongst the shadows. The shadows are there for a reason. And the world around you will try to tell you that you are not supposed to, that is wrong, that is evil. Yes, while there are evil things that happen on what is considered to be the left-hand path of God, the same can also be said for what is considered to be the right-hand path of God. I'm gonna just go ahead and leave that right there. To be honest with you, if you seek to find more information on the difference between the left-hand path and the right-hand path, I encourage you to go find your own information at this point in time, because this is information that is still relatively new to me. And because of the nature of this information, it's extremely sensitive. And I say that to express to you that I don't want to lead you astray. I don't want to further confuse you, because I have a limited understanding of that information as well. You know, I've had, like I said, some esoteric encounters lately that have revealed to me certain things, and so I understand. It's more like I understand, but I don't overstand to a point to be able to express that to the public just yet. So with that being said, I'm gonna take some time out to do my own research, to do my own due diligence, put certain things in practice, and then I will reveal to you in time what is the true difference between the left hand path and the right hand path to my understanding. So with that being said, the spiritual war is upon us. It was already bubbling, you know, before recently, but earlier this month in April, and I want to say around April 10th or 12th, that's when things started to really pick up. That's when I noticed, you know, things was actually like the shift had fully completed, and there was some information that the ancients above had revealed to me. I don't know if you know what's going on. Well, okay, let's start off with this first. Things that are happening on the physical plane is a reflection of what is happening in the metaphysical, right? So, the concept of as above, so below, as it is in heaven, may it be the same on earth. Certain religious phrases and proverbs give light to this esoteric understanding of how the universe works. So in terms of what's happening physically with Russia and the Ukraine, that's actually a reflection of what is happening in the spiritual plane. There is a war that is kicking off. And the battle will bubble over eventually, and more parties will become involved. More spiritual entities will become involved. But to my understanding, from what it is that has been revealed to me through divine intuition, this is a split in time. Quite honestly, this is a split in time. What was revealed to me was this universe, this galaxy specifically that we live in, resides in a black hole, or at one point in time it resided in a black hole. And if you don't know how black holes work, I'm pretty sure you would imagine how, but let me explain it to you from the perspective of what modern day science knows. There is a concept called an event horizon, right? So imagine everything that's happening outside of the hole as the planets, the stars, other star systems and galaxies moving closer. And once they touch the event horizon, modern day science knows not exactly what happens here because we have not experienced that. But we have come up with mathematical equations to explain what would be the inverse to touching the event horizon. The inverse of touching the event horizon would be to go into a white hole, to where if there is a mass structure in the universe that infinitely pulls things in, then there is a mass structure in the universe that infinitely pushes things out. So what was revealed to me was that we actually touched the event horizon, and now everything that was consumed, all of the energy that was consumed, is now being pushed out. And so that split in time is actually changing the events of time mathematics. The events of the everything that we know about the universe is completely falling apart, rebuilding and changing itself. It's a mass restructure right now, and with it, the vibration of the earth is changing. It's I can't say slowly, but it's definitely going up. It's heightening itself, and so there are people of the earth, true children of the earth, who have been touched by this consciousness. A lot of them explain their experience as coming in contact with some sort of white light that was shown from the sun. I had my own experience, to which I'll explain that to you in a later video. I've talked with a couple other people from my generation who have shared similar stories about this white light, or this pure form of consciousness touching them, waking them up. So one of the things that was revealed to me And I bring everything back full circle with the war between Russia and Ukraine. Remember, I said things that are happening on a physical level are being reflected in the metaphysical. So, physically, one of the symbols that Russia is using to mark or notate their troops, some of their tanks, some of their equipment for war, with the letter Z. Now I know on this channel I have released a video called Message to Gen Z, doing the breakdown of the word Zeta and a whole bunch of other things. And while this is kind of sort of related to it, it's a whole different concept. So in terms of Z that I'm breaking down now is actually a concept that was introduced to me before, which is Zig Zag Zig. And that's an esoteric understanding of the principles of time and the cycles of life. So where you start, the first zig, once you end, that is another start, which would then become zag, which it comes down, and then it's a reflection. So from zig to zag, it is the newer starting point is a reflection of the original starting point. So you start, you end, and then you start again. And then this process will continue all the way up until the end of time. And then once the end of time comes, the process will then again continue furthermore. Some of these things have been revealed to me by encounters with extraterrestrials. And I fear not saying that because I know what it is that I have experienced. I know what it is that I have been through. I know what it is that I have done personally to get in contact with them. And so they have shown to me and revealed to me a lot of things that for the average person who may not be ready to deal with these type of higher understandings, it can come across as startling because it goes against everything that you have been taught here in this physical existence. So one of the things that they explained to me about how time works is things happen in sets of threes as opposed to two. Now there is an importance for two. Two offers balance between the start and the end point. So you have the start, which is 1, and then you have the end, which is 2. But remember, everything that I said is actually a reflection of the inner working. So if it's happening in the metaphysical, then it's also being reflected somehow, some way through the metaphysical. And we see that with our understanding of binary, ones and zeros, on and off. So in terms of the universe, we have 1 and we have 0, start and end, on and off. But these have to happen in sets of 3. So we have on, off, on. And the reason why it happens in sets of 3s is because while 2, on and off, offers balance between what is on or what is off, because it always has to be balanced. Once it happens a third time, that offers potential for the end of a cycle. So you have on and off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, right? And that was in a pattern of 9. I didn't count this though. So in terms of 9, the way things happen is 9 is the last single digit before the recontinuation of the process, to which we then get 10, which is just the evolved version. Everything is based off of evolution anyways. So we do that enough times. We eventually continue to evolve into higher numbers. And it goes on into infinity. I know this may seem like a lot of information at once, and it's kind of hard for me to present it to you because I haven't had the time to really digest the information myself. I'm kind of just giving it to you as it's recently been downloaded into my own form of consciousness. I just recently came in contact with the other side, and they gave me some more information prior to things that they had already showed me before. So once it reaches the end of the sequence, the pattern starts over again. But the thing is, you have to take into account that it evolves, much like like I said, things are reflections of the physical and metaphysical. So much like we have programmed computers to understand binary switches on and off, all of these sequences, in order for them to learn algorithmically, in order for them to process data on such a level to where they can actually teach themselves. This too is how the creation came into a form of divine. The creation was given a set of instructions. Who the creator is exactly is actually a secret that may never be revealed. That information itself is highly destructive to mankind. But what can be understood is that there truly is no difference between you and the creator. The creator and the creation are one. The creation is just the human form of consciousness experiencing the creator's work. And so, we know if you follow certain esoteric religions, like, or not esoteric religions, but if you follow religion in general, I'm sure that you've heard through maybe like the Bible that there was a point in time where there was a creation that was destroyed, right? Well, there was a creation that was destroyed before that creation, and also there was a creation that was destroyed before that one. The process continues on and off, create, destroy, and it'll always continue this way. This is the fashion of it, but every time it becomes more and more advanced. So the reflections of our civilization, to an extent, is an advancement in terms of what civilizations that came before us may have had, but there's truly no difference. They were equally as advanced, if not better, than what we are. The only thing about our advancements is there are more aspects of technology that take away from human consciousness. Walking around with smartphones that kind of replace the power of the mind to an extent. There's no longer a need to imagine things. Everything that we could imagine is being shown to us. So we no longer really need to daydream about things anymore. We no longer need to focus on spiritual work, higher intuition, building connections with the spirit, because of the fact that the phones are replacing that for us, which isn't necessarily a good thing, but it's not necessarily a bad thing either. There is no such thing as good or bad. There just simply is what is, and it's up to you to make decisions as to what it is that you choose for yourself. With that being said, there's still other things that I need to further marinate on, further meditate on, to be able to shed light. But they showed me all types of crazy stuff about like algebra, the understanding of sin. So if you know anything about geometry, at least what we've been taught here in this world, if you understand anything about geometry, there is a concept called sine wave dealing with triangles, right? And triangles are very important shapes because triangles are smack dead in the middle between what is on the left hand side, which would be the circle, or the mother of all shapes, the divine feminine, where everything comes from in the first place. And then all the way to your right hand side, you have the square, or the father of all shapes. And these two energies come together to create triangles in the middle. So understanding the concept of sine as it relates to algebra, you see that it is often abbreviated on like a scientific calculator as SIN, to which we then call that sin. What sin is, from what they've showed me, sin is actually what happens when the sine wave comes down. The angle of depression, or the angle of chaos, if you will. For every height, there is a low. And these are just the laws of polarity, right? So they've taught to us that sin is a bad thing, to which that depends on your perception, truly. I can't say what is wrong or right for anyone. However, there are laws to the universe. And we have been living in this third dimensional matrix for so long that we actually forgot, or rather, well, yeah, I'm gonna say we forgot, because some of this stuff is actually programmed into us. You know, like how we grow up in this system. Certain things that was just shown to us since birth have been programmed into us as right or wrong. And so we know the laws of this matrix. We know the laws of this system. Like, I know the laws of America. You know, I know that there's certain things that I can get in trouble for. Well, our souls are no different. Our souls come here to Earth Realm knowing what is right or wrong. And they purposefully try to distract us. But the way that they do it is in such a sinister manner that we really don't know all the way that we're consenting to breaking the law. They have convinced us to consent to breaking laws. And so with that being said, there is a certain level of punishment that a lot of us will have to face in the end. And that's what's one of those things that's during this war is going to separate the strong from the weak, is understanding who has to face what and why. So I think that that's enough information to share with y'all today. Like I said, I'm gonna try to, I ain't even gonna say I'm gonna try, I will, because now everything that I have been going through, I'm starting to see a higher purpose to a lot of it. And within the past few days, the esoteric encounters, the esoteric experiences, the esoteric conversations, a lot of the things that I have been witnessing is confirming to me that I know that it's not anything wrong with me necessarily, but this world that we live in will try to convince you otherwise, especially when you wake up. That's one of the biggest ways that they can try to gaslight you, is by keeping you in a state of confusion and making you feel as though you're crazy for believing in what it is that you believe. Don't let go of what it is that you believe. Do not let go of it. I've been having some experiences that have been revealing to me that I'm on the right path. The path that was designed for me, whether I knew it or not. Throughout all the chaos that comes with this path, this is actually one of the spiritual contracts that I made coming here. And I'm doing my best to follow through with that. And so part of that is to also shed light to those who may be lost, so that way you can find your way too. Because what is getting ready to come to some of those who are left in the dark, I wouldn't wish that on anyone. So with that being said, I love you. Peace be unto you. And I'm glad that you spent time with me, Reflection. Ashe, fa, ashe.